We have our next in-studio guest with us. Welcome Whitney Bond from WhitneyBond.com.
Hi, how's it going?
Great. How about you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
That's about the best name we've had for a guest, though, right? Whitney Bond from WhitneyBond.com.
You're trying to get the James Bond thing in there, and it doesn't work.
Well, it's just a cool name. No, actually, it's a cool name. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us what you do.
So I am a full-time food blogger, which most people don't meet a lot of. I've been blogging for 4 years now and just recently made a name change because my parents gave me such an awesome name. I've really become known by my name as much as my blog name. Mm-hmm. So I transitioned my blog over, and now everything is WhitneyBond.com, and I have over 600 recipes on my blog. And
wow.
And on Instagram, I'm blogging about or posting about not only my recipes, but restaurants around San Diego and what I'm eating when I'm traveling. So if you love food,
yes,
come check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. We have Andrea's little box of candy here, and she's feeling very guilty because she wants to eat well, doesn't she?
Well, I mean, it's just kind of embarrassing in front of a food blogger to bring like store-bought chocolates, because I mean, Whitney's probably in her kitchen on a regular basis making like handmade,
so you're saying that
truffles.
I'm not the only one that embarrasses themselves?
No.
Okay, good.
I swear I don't get invited to people's parties or dinners at their houses anymore because they won't cook for me. I'm like, I still like good food. Like, I'm not that high maintenance. Please invite me. I won't judge your food at your party.
So the recipes you do, are these from local restaurants or are these your own recipes?
No, these are all my own recipes. So my tagline is traditional recipes with a Bond girl twist. So I kind of came up with that over the last few years. Really defining what my recipes were, because the first thing that people ask when you say, I create recipes, they always say, what kind of recipes? So I never really wanted to define myself by just doing vegetarian or just doing gluten-free or, paleo or something like that. I just liked taking recipes that I grew up with or traditional recipes that I love and just giving them a little twist so that it's still accessible to everybody at home. It's not something that's so crazy that no one's going to make in their kitchen, but it's something a little bit different. Because I know people that cook at home a lot, and especially if you have families, you have kids, you get tired of eating the same thing over and over. And so this gives you a way to make things that your family isn't going to think you're nuts for making, but it's something new and a little bit different.
Yeah, do you tailor recipes for those having specific types of diets?
I do have a lot of options for those that are vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free. My brother actually has celiac, so he's gluten intolerant. So when I started blogging, what I found was I was making recipes a couple different ways because at the time I had friends that were vegetarians, so I would make things, make recipes, and then I would transition them based on who I was making them for. So what I started doing at the bottom of almost every recipe is putting a vegetarian and a gluten-free option for how to make the recipe vegetarian or gluten-free.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. We have your address. So what time is dinner?
I know. People ask all the time, how do I get invited to your dinner parties?
We'll crash.
Well, Urban, we have the ability to promote the dinner parties on the air, so we will get the free invitation in here.
Yeah.
Like that.
There you go.
That.
Yep. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Give us a tweet at CloseUpSD. Email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com or find our page on Facebook. Want to hear from you? I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with Andrea Kay, Urban Miaris, and our guest is Whitney Bond from WhitneyBond.com. So I started thinking about one of our prior guests on here who I ended up getting my daughter connected with, Zlata Sushik from Sexy Fit, right?
Yeah.
And Sexy Fit is all about a company that will get you into fitness and nutrition and a balance in there. So do you have different types of recipes or different programs that are nutrition based that can go after different segments of our population?
I don't really. I think, one of the hard things for me is when people say, is your blog healthy? Because healthy really is in the eye of the beholder. Mm-hmm. I'm from a small town in Oklahoma. So healthy to people in Oklahoma is very different than healthy to people in San Diego. Yeah. So I think there's something for everyone on the blog. That's what I always say. That's why I've never defined myself to one particular category. With over 600 recipes, you're going to find your low carb or your low sugar, your gluten-free, your healthy recipes. And then you're going to find the things that you want to splurge on the weekend, like a buffalo chicken dip pizza, or
you have my
Nutella bacon chocolate chip cookies. Yeah.
Oh, if it comes to food, you have Andrea's attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm from the South. I'm from New Orleans.
Okay.
And so it's like where we come from, if it's not batter dipped and deep fried, it's, not... That's our healthy. That's like medicinal for us, where I come from.
If it's baked, not fried, that's a totally healthy dish.
Exactly. You also have a cookbook, right?
I do. My cookbook is called Buffalo Style, Ditch the Wings, Keep the Sauce. I always loved buffalo sauce, but I was never a fan of eating meat off the bone with my hands.
Yeah, it's messy.
It's messy, and I don't know. It just never was too appetizing to me, but I wanted the sauce in my life. And so those recipes were very popular on my blog when I would incorporate buffalo sauce into unique things, giving it that twist. And so when I started talking with a publisher, I gave them this idea and they loved it. It's something super niche. So if you love buffalo sauce, you're going to find 50 unique recipes with buffalo sauce in every recipe.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Well, I usually find somebody to make an offer to on the show.
Yeah,
so, and it's an offer, not a proposition.
You're going to offer to eat some of our cooking?
Send me a link to where we get your book. Sure. Let's put it on on our website, and it'd be right next to my book, so they can learn all about finance and cooking all at the same time. I don't know how that relates, but that's
well, they can read you read your book while they eat.
Yeah, perfect.
With Barry and what we were talking about earlier, do you have a recipe for hot and pepper?
For what?
What? Gesundheit, she says.
That's rabbit.
Used to own a
German
restaurant.
Okay.
Thank you, Urban, so much.
Another rabbit reference.
Hey, another rabbit recipe.
I think I'm just going to hop right on out of
here. Well, you've actually been up the road into Hollywood in L.A. and pitching some ideas for some TV shows. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I actually started blogging. I was living in LA. The irony of that is nobody would take a meeting with me. Nobody cared about me because I had not grown the blog to where it is now. And then I moved back to home sweet San Diego. And now that I've grown my following, everyone in LA is interested in talking to me. So it's ironic how life works out, right? But I'm pitching a few different show concepts to different major networks right now. Based on the network is the show pitch. Obviously, something for Food Network is going to be something, different from Travel Channel, but they all are obviously based around food. So in the meantime, I'm doing guest spots on other shows. I'm about to film with Lo Bosworth from The Hills this weekend. So
she better be nice to
meet
you.
her. Yeah, she seems really sweet. So I'm excited. We're going to make smoothies together. So there's a healthy post-workout meal or option for you, recipe. It's on my blog.
All right. Yeah. I am a fanatic for Next Food Network star.
Oh, yes. I love it.
I don't know if you watched it this season.
Absolutely, I did.
I predicted Eddie was going to win. I mean, come on now, please.
Really?
Eddie. Yes.
I thought it was your Louisiana boy the whole time. He was so good.
Yeah. Have you seen Eddie?
I know.
Listeners. Come on.
He
came down to that
unique look to Food Network.
Yeah. Have you thought about competing for that?
People have asked me that a lot, and right now I'm still trying to go the old-fashioned way and pitch my own show directly to Food Network, because as we all know, TV can be a little bit scripted, even when you don't think it is, and they can, maybe put you in a position that you don't necessarily want to be in. Yeah. And so, I like to have control over, the look and feel of my show, my blog, everything I do. So I guess as a control freak, I don't really want to go on there.
Gotcha.
But we'll see. We'll see I never say never. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to whatever she does, right? She can come back and tell us about
it. I'm working with a couple of people with disabilities that are looking to get on the Food Network a show, and the competition is severe, significant. It's powerful.
Mm-hmm. Well, just look at the obsession of people like Andrea with food, and you see how the competition gets there.
Food has become a very popular and trendy thing over the last few years, which has been great as a food blogger, but it also brings in new competition. And you see a lot on the cooking channel, a lot of former celebrities that are getting shows. Tiffany Amber Thiessen has her own show.
Hey, now don't mock. I've watched Dinner at Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Although I have to say that I'm not sure that her recipes are really my taste. Why do you think that your blog has taken off? Because there are a million people that want to get into travel and food blogging. What's the key to your success?
You know, I think there's a few things. People always ask me, well, can't anyone be a food blogger? Absolutely. Go on, start a food blog today. Would you like to work about 60 to 80 hours a week for 2 years without making $1? Everyone's like, oh, heck no. I'm like, well, there you go. Then that's why I'm successful and you won't be. I worked really, really hard for 2 years. I never made $1 off my blog, and I was working it every day, posting 4 to 5 times a week and building my social media following for nothing, while also working another job and going to school.
Oh, wow.
So it took a lot of just really sticking it out to start. And you know, how I started making money was I wanted to do it full time. So I started approaching brands whose products I liked cooking with in the kitchen. And I said, I love your product. I use it anyway. Let me help you by promoting your product. My blog gets hundreds of thousands of views a month, and I can get great exposure to your brand. And a couple of them were amazing and said, okay, we'll give you a try. And now it's great. And now I'm working with national brands that I absolutely love, that I've hand selected myself. These aren't, it's not like I'm just blogging about anyone that's willing to give me $1. I'm very selective on who I work with, and I love all of my clients right now. So it's become an amazing business for me, but it definitely took a lot of work and a lot of business savvy to actually turn a food blog into a business.
Despite there being a national shortage of cooks and chefs in the nation right now, why didn't you go into the restaurant business? Open your own restaurant?
I have absolutely no interest in owning a restaurant. I actually worked in the restaurant business since I was 15. My first job was a car hop at Sonic. Oh. Holler. And no, I did not wear roller skates. And let me tell you, like Oklahoma in the winter, car hopping, when it's like icy outside and 25 degrees, it is the worst thing ever. So I started at the very bottom, and then I upgraded to hostess at Chili's. And I waited tables, and I bartended, and I did all of those things for years. And I just saw what a tough industry the restaurant business was. And the reason I love cooking and what got me into cooking and posting recipes on my blog was from my family and friends. We did Sunday family dinner growing up in Oklahoma every Sunday. And when I moved to California, I was very homesick. I knew no one west of Oklahoma. I was 18 years old, and I would cook in the dorms. We had a little closet-sized kitchenette thing that no one even knew existed. You had to get a key from the front desk, and I would make food, and people would be like, how did you make that? Where did you get that? And I'm like, oh, I made it. So I started doing Sunday family dinners, and I've been doing it for 12 years now. And people were starting to ask for my recipes, so I posted out there. I love cooking for people that just want to be there for the enjoyment of the company and the food and the wine, and not necessarily someone that's just coming in and trying to judge everything. I am the easiest customer you will ever have in a restaurant, because I will never complain. I will never send anything back. And people always find that surprising, because I go in now as, you know, kind of the media or the press now to try new restaurants. And I think people are really intimidated by me. And I'm like, trust me, I'm the easiest one. If I don't like it, I just won't post anything about it. And if I love it, I'll be your number one fan. I think if no one's talking about it, it's not gonna work out anyway, especially in San Diego, where there's a million restaurants and bars. There's new ones opening every day. If you don't have people talking about it, it's not gonna last. So I just keep my mouth shut if I don't like it, but if I love it, I'll be your biggest promoter, and I'll Instagram all of my favorite dishes and try to help those San Diego businesses.
Okay, well, Whitney, we're starting to run short on time, so tell our listeners how they find out more about your company.
So you can go on my new website, whitneybond.com, with all of the recipes there. Follow me on Instagram at Whitney Bond to see everywhere I'm eating, and on Twitter at Whitney_Bond.
Great. Well, we appreciate you being with us, and you're going to be one of my favorite, did I say favorite ones to follow up with.
Perfect. Well, thank you guys so much. And next time I promise to bring food.
Okay,
right.
Great.
Next week you'll be back.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Okay, this is Close Up on San Diego Business here on KCBQ, streaming live at AM1170theanswer.com. Send us a tweet at Close Up SD or just find our page on Facebook. You can always email me at barry@closeupsandiego.com. Let me know what you think. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.